Have you ever had that feeling where you are um, just of two minds about something?
Oh, all the time.
Like one part of you is saying yes and the other is just screaming no.
Right.
Well, today we're diving into the research that suggests that biologically, that's not just a metaphor. You might actually be two people.
It sounds like something out of science fiction, but this is, foundational biological psychology. We're talking about the divided mind.
Hemispheric lateralization.
Exactly. How the two halves of your brain, left and right, kind of function as these independent units that somehow work together to make you, well, you.
And we should probably get this out of the way first. I think everyone knows the pop psychology version of this.
Oh, yeah. I'm left brain, so I'm logical. Or I'm right brain, so I'm an artist.
Right. But looking at the actual sources, it's such a huge oversimplification. It's not about personality.
It's about processing. That's the key. Lateralization just means the brain divides up the work. You have the two hemispheres, and they're connected by this superhighway of nerve fibers.
The corpus callosum.
That's the one. It's the bridge that lets the two sides talk.
But the wiring itself is so strange. It's contralateral.
Mm-hmm.
So my left brain is running the right side of my body, and my right brain is running the left side. It's completely cross.
Which is why, for instance, a stroke in the left hemisphere can affect the right side of the body. But beyond just movement, the research shows these two halves have really different day jobs, let's say.
Yeah, I was looking at the breakdown. The left hemisphere is basically the linguist.
Yes.
It's got Broca's area for making speech, Wernicke's area for understanding it. So if you're talking like we are now, that's mostly your left brain doing the work.
And while that's happening, your right hemisphere is sort of the navigator or maybe the artist.
Okay.
It's handling all the visual and spatial stuff, facial recognition, imagination, making sure you don't get lost. It's more about the big picture, the context.
So in a normal brain, the bridge is open and the linguist and the navigator are in constant communication.
You'd never notice the split. But that's what makes the research by Sperry and Gazzaniga so groundbreaking. They found a way to see what happens when you cut that phone line.
This is the famous split brain research from the 60s, right?
That's it. They worked with patients who had severe epilepsy, and as a last resort, surgeons had actually severed the corpus callosum to stop seizures from spreading.
So their two brain halves were suddenly isolated.
Completely. They couldn't communicate. And Sperry set up this brilliant experiment with something called a tachistoscope.
That's the machine that flashes an image for like a fraction of a second.
Exactly. Super fast, so your eyes don't have time to move. And here's the crucial part for everyone listening. Your visual field is split. Everything you see to the right of your nose goes to your left brain.
And everything to the left of your nose goes to your right brain.
Right. So they sit a patient down, they flash a picture of, say, a dog to their right visual field.
Okay, so that image goes to the left brain,
Yeah.
the linguist.
The one with all the words. So you ask the patient, what did you see? And they just say,
I saw a dog. Simple.
no problem. But then they do it again. This time, they flash the dog to the left visual field.
It goes to the right brain, the navigator.
The right brain sees the dog perfectly. It recognizes it, but it has no language center. It's essentially mute.
So the researcher asks, what did you see? And the patient says,
Nothing.
wow.
The speaking left brain literally has no idea anything happened. It's completely in the dark.
But, and this is the part that just gets me, the patient says, I saw nothing. But if you ask them to draw what they saw with their left hand,
Which is controlled by that silent right brain.
they can draw a picture of the dog.
They draw the dog. Or they can pick it out of a lineup of objects with their left hand. The right brain knows exactly what it saw. It just can't speak up and say it.
That is genuinely unsettling. It's like having a silent observer in your own head.
It really is. A whole separate consciousness that experiences things but can't talk about them.
But it's not always so rigid, is it? I saw the later research from Turk and his colleagues.
Right, and that brings in the idea of plasticity. They studied a patient, JW, who over time actually started to develop some language abilities in his right hemisphere.
Wait, really? The silent navigator learned how to talk?
In a way, yeah. The brain is incredibly adaptive. It figured out the main bridge was down and it started, building new pathways. It shows that lateralization is the default setting, but it's not set in stone.
The brain is trying to make itself whole again.
It always wants to be a unified team, but it leaves us with this really provocative question about the default state. I mean, in a healthy brain right now, as you're listening to this.
My right hemisphere is processing the tone of your voice, the space I'm in.
Exactly. But the part of you that you think of as you, your internal monologue, the voice in your head, That's mostly your left hemisphere speaking.
Which means there is a part of my own consciousness that's seeing and feeling and understanding everything right now.
But it can never, ever tell you about it.
Okay, I think that's enough of an existential crisis for one day. Thanks for listening to this deep dive.
We'll see you next time.